Dear students, in this video I'll be explaining about how the inherit attribute is used when the abstract structure of a given variable is different. Inherit attributes are useful when the structure of the parse tree differ from the abstract syntax of the input. Attributes can be used to carry the information from one part of the parse tree to the another tree. So you know that the attributes are used to transfer the information from one node to the another node. For example, if you just take an example of int 2 of 3 can be read as array of 2, array of 3 integer. It is read as it's an array of 2, array of 3 integer. It means that it's of 2 cross 3 array of integer type. For this, how the information is passed from one node to the another node using an inherited attribute, I'll be explaining about that. So if you just look at the structure of this, so it says that it's an array of 2, of array of 3, of integer type. So it means now I need to get the data type of this particular array. Then only I can mention in the lexical analyzer that it's an array of integer whose size is 3. Once I get this value, I can make an entry into the symbol table once again. It means that it's an array of 2, array of 3 of integer. So this is how the information is passed from one node to the another node. This can be achieved using the semantic rule. I mean to say that this particular context-free grammar. It says that T tends to BC. So for B, there are two possibilities. One is integer type, other is float type. You can have other possibilities also like character, double, all those things. And the other possibility for C is C tends to num followed by C1. The other one is C tends to epsilon. It means that this particular context-free grammar can generate a simple variable that is integer or float, or it can generate an array of integer. Now, if you just look at the semantic rule, there are two types of attributes values are there, where T stands for an synthesized attribute, whereas B stands for the inherited attribute. So usually, so when I say T tends to BC, now it looks like this. When I say T tends to BC, now for B, the possible values are either int or float. For this example, we have taken integer value. But this integer value will be passed to this B. That's why I said it's a synthesized value. B dot T is equals to integer. When it comes to the right side of that, T tends to BC. Now, what is the C value? What is the value of C? Now, C will get its value from B. That's why we wrote a semantic rule as C dot B is equals to B dot T. So it means that it is getting its value from the sibling. That's why it becomes an inherited value. Once I get this inherited value at this particular level, in order to execute this node, I cannot execute this node unless I get the second argument of this. Now the semantic rule for this is, so directly B dot T is equals to integer, B dot T is equals to float, that gets its value directly. So it is synthesized value. When it comes to this particular node, there are two semantic rules. One is, so you say that array whose size is of integer, what is the data type of this? So the data type you get it from the inherited value. So to get this inherited value, we write it as C1.b is equals to C dot B. So this C dot B, you got it from the B dot T. So then it, in turn, it becomes the inherited value. Then once it gets its epsilon, then it becomes the synthesized value. So once I get the synthesized value, so how I'm going to get the synthesized value? So I get this C dot B value. Since I cannot execute this rule because I don't have the second argument. Now the second argument I get it from this node. To this node, I pass the value of integer to this node using the inherited attribute. That is, my inherited attribute will be C1.b is equals to C dot B. I get this inherited value. So I get this inherited value as C dot B. Now at this level, I can execute this rule, but still I cannot execute the rule because I don't know the data type of it. So how well I'm going to get the data type? Once I apply the epsilon, my C dot B value becomes my integer value for the synthesized attribute. So once I get this value, I execute a rule C1.t. What is the C1.t? The C1.t is nothing but my integer value. Once I get this integer value, this will be get executed. So this node will be get executed. Once again, the reference is C.t is equals to array of num, comma, C dot T, C1 dot T. So C1 dot T is nothing but my integer value. Num value is nothing but my 3. So this will be get executed. So this becomes my synthesized value. That's why you can see that C dot T value. So this C dot T value becomes a synthesized value to the next level. Once again, I call the same function in the next level. That is in this level. So we got this second value. That is my C1 dot T value, which I got it from this level. That will be passed. So once again, this C dot T value becomes my synthesized value after executing this rule. So this C dot value becomes my T dot value, T dot T value at the upper level. This is how this inherited value will be passed from one level to the next level. Then it becomes the synthesized value. Then this synthesized value becomes to the go to the next level. Then it goes to the next level. Then it goes to the next level. That's how it will be get evaluated. That's how the inherited value will be moved from one level to the another level. How the information is passed from one node to the another node, and that becomes the inherit synthesized value to the upper level.